O Lord, how excellent thy name. The recessional hymn and the closing song today in the funeral services for Daryl Gordon, being laid to rest for his heroism as he died in the line of duty last week. Tanya O'Rourke, Chris Riva, as we continue our coverage here this afternoon, as we are now in the 11 o'clock hour. This is an event that started earlier this morning, shortly before 9 a.m. at Daryl Gordon's firehouse. Engine 14, right at 5th and Central Avenue. The procession then made it to St. Peter and Chains Cathedral, where we have been watching the funeral services followed and presided over by Reverend Royce Winters. We saw the mayor speak, Harry Black, city manager, representative from the fire union, as well as family member John Gordon Sr., who himself is a first responder, a police officer, the nephew of Daryl Gordon, talking about his generosity. Tanya, your thoughts on what we've seen over the last hour?
What I have seen is absolutely stunning. A little over an hour, perhaps close to an hour and a half, this service has gone. Just an emotional and powerful tribute. I want you to know, as you're watching this, you might hear the voices of Chief Bill Kramer and District Chief Glenn Coleman, who also joined us, both former firefighters retired. And what we saw here was really a wonderful tribute to this man, who they call a big teddy bear. What a wonderful thing to call somebody, number one. But what I heard Matt Alter say, the union firefighting chief, the head of the union, firefighters union, say 12 people are alive today because of Gordon and those men and women who went in last week. And unfortunately, firefighter Gordon lost his life that day. That is at the crux of what we're talking about today, that he went in when he didn't absolutely have to, but that's his calling.
So inside St. Peter and Chains have been close family and friends as well as fellow firefighters. And Glenn Coleman, we bring you in. It's been an emotional day for you. We've seen you shed a few tears as we have on this set. Your thoughts of the funeral service?
You know, I thought Deacon Withers was unbelievable.
Deacon Winters was fantastic. The homily was amazing.
It was. I mean, he was directing it to the family the entire time.
Talk straight to them.
I mean,
stood right before them.
Powerful. I mean, it was, you know, very, you know, for me just to sit here and listen to it, it was really, wow. It was great.
Chief Kramer?
Well, so many people appreciate the solemnity of what's being done today, and I was touched by the story of Ashley Whitney and her 3-year-old son who attribute their rescue directly, and she was so profuse in her thankfulness too. She thought it could be Daryl Gordon, but whoever it was, she was extremely thankful. So those people who are alive today, and as Matt Alter, the union president, says, we're on duty now, we're answering calls, we continue to answer the alarm. Somebody else might need help at a moment's notice, and there are uniformed firefighters. Approximately one firefighter is injured in the line of duty every 3 or 4 minutes. So during the course of our 2-hour broadcast, about 20 firefighters somewhere in the country will be injured somehow. Fortunately, because of new safety measures and better teamwork and new procedures, the line of duty deaths have been limited. When one occurs, it's still a tragedy.
Yeah, you mentioned that 21 in line of duty deaths have happened in 2015. There has been one other firefighter out of New Jersey that had passed away since firefighter Gordon lost his life in the line of duty, and of course there's a firefighter in critical condition in Fresno right now. And Tanya, you mentioned that, but there have been so many different agencies down here. How many calls have they participated in?
Okay, so as you well know, there are other agencies covering for the Cincinnati Fire.